Greetings, and welcome to the Library of Deep Knowledge. I am Naho the Storyteller, and I have a tale to tell you. Today we are continuing Tokyo Necro. When we last left off, Soun and Mitsumi, aboard a gray chameleon, were on their way to assault the necromancer Milgram's headquarters outside of Tokyo. Today, I am joined by Lux.
Hi, everyone.
And Momo.
Pyong pyong.
And anyone else who may join us will join us. If they don't, they don't. Hopefully
Maybe an extra.
Yeah, hopefully we
Sorry.
get. No, what were you going to say?
Maybe an extra surprise from someone later on.
Maybe.
Like, showing up.
The only person who I think might show up is Wild. Because everyone else has been fairly clear about not being able to be here.
Fair enough.
Mr. Morsane is busy with his own stuff next week. Akane is probably doing the same thing she's been doing. Or she's not feeling well. Senko initially agreed to join us for library stuff and then has kind of forgotten and will not respond to my messages. So I'm probably just going to take her off the list.
Yeah, that's fair.
Monkey Bro is still in the Philippines. That's going to be my excuse for him not being here no matter what. And the curator is sleeping. Or maybe she's not. She may have just woken up. But she wouldn't join for this anyway. The game, Tokyo Necro is a little too intense for her. Alright, enough stalling. Let's get this going. One of these days I'm going to change my mouse cursor because I think it actually shows up on stream.
Yeah, it does.
As much
hey, is that nice nature?
Yeah, it's nice nature.
I have the same one, but I have Dodo.
There's no Sounds of Earth one, so I'm kind of stuck.
You're not here. One day.
I feel like she's not particularly popular, so... Yeah, but I've also had the Nice Nature one for a while now, and I'm due for a change.
Sounds of Earth is on place 103. No, I wrong thing. 53. So it might take a bit.
Yeah, I know. Admittedly, I don't know much about her other than her singing voice entrances me, so...
She shows up in the anime quite a bit.
Lovely. I should watch that at some point when I am finished going through my backlog of mecha anime.
Yeah, she's only there like a tiny bit, but she shows up.
Our strider continues speeding along as bullets bounce off its armor. The ghouls we run over leave dusky red skid marks in the snow. I check the map to confirm our destination. Oh no, who's taking Ryoko.
Good question.
Okay. With doing her. Oh. Do I just go?
If you're gonna take her, go.
The upper floors of the building have mostly crumbled away, and Milgram is likely anticipating any attack from above. That, along with the location we saw in the Vice Governor's torture video, leads me to believe Milgram is hiding underground.
Understood. As the icy winds beat down against the permafrost, we finally come upon the towering silhouette of a large, tattered building. It's the old Tokyo detention house, a place that's seen more hangings than one can count. Feels almost too fitting to be used as the headquarters of the suicide wannabes. Fallen to ruin during the Sino-American War, the aged structure is now a relic from the past fated to rot beneath the ice and snow. Its surroundings, however, have been dug up. As permafrost can be just as sturdy as concrete, it can't have been an easy task, and would have no doubt been difficult to force actual living humans to perform the work. The living dead, however, are ever loyal to their masters. Their never-tiring bodies would have been ideal for digging up corpses from the permafrost, which Milgram then reanimated as lowly ghouls. The traces left by their grisly work are right before our eyes. I'm assuming that's Mitsumi, and I'm correct.
Okay. So, look.
In this frozen world, metals aren't readily available via importing. Acquiring them proves quite difficult. Accordingly, the prices of security robots have spiked up. You'd have to be either a government official or just extremely wealthy to get your hands on any. So when necromancers set out to produce powerful weapons for themselves, they inevitably end up using corpses as quick and easily exchangeable materials. The hi-fis standing before us now are the result of that very way of thinking. They sport 6 legs, much like the average pipe runner, and have railguns installed on their backs. Tank-class living dead. Multi-legged mobile fortresses stitched together from corpse parts. 3 of these monstrous creatures have now leveled their massive cannons at us. I violently turn the Strider's handle the moment my X-Brain's instruction pops up, but it's not enough. The first 2 railgun shots miss, but the third one hits us in the rear and blows our Strider away. The vehicle gets toppled over by the impact. As I struggle to steady myself, I realize that our Strider has been blown into one of the holes left in the dug-up permafrost. The vehicle may have stopped, but we have to act quick. Mitsumi!
I know.
She's already started reaching for the door in order to escape. Unfortunately, this means we'll have to leave behind most of the weapons we brought along. The snow here is colder than even the kind you get in this city. Mitsumi grabs hold of my hand and helps pull me out of the vehicle. Shortly afterwards, the enemy's railguns blow away the toppled Strider. A loud explosion roars out, and the Strider's body is torn to smithereens. We just barely managed to shield ourselves from the flying debris. Had the Strider not been thrown into the hole, the railgun's follow-up attack would have likely arrived before we had a chance to escape. The 3 tank-class living dead tower over us from above. No doubt they've considered the possibility that we'd escape the Strider unscathed. They slowly begin to inch closer and closer. We exchange a glance. I have my 2 re-eliminators. Mitsumi has her thermokarambit. We could take on a large number of ordinary living dead with just those weapons, but against 3 tank-class units, they feel insufficient, to say the least. No suggestions are forthcoming from my ex-brain, it seems. I can't ask Ryoko for help either. The tank class's heavy footsteps draw nearer. From the electric chirp of their charged-up railguns, I can tell they aim to blow us away immediately without allowing us even a split second to react. Mitsumi and I exchange a nod. I can't tell how far we'll get, but unless we get out of here, we'll never be able to defeat Milgram and avenge Mitsumi's brother. We both make up our minds. Mitsumi begins to count down with her free hand. 3, 2, 1. We charge out. I head to the left, Mitsumi takes the right. We make a run for another hole while trying to split the enemy's attention. I hear 3 shots in the distance. At first I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but my ex-brain picks up on them too. Nonetheless, I've no time to even think about what those sounds could have belonged to. The railguns light up. A suggestion pops up as I'm knocked off my feet. The shot misses me, but the resulting shockwave blows me away. My body slides across the cold, hard permafrost. Despite the pain in my legs, my ex-brain displays no alert and instead urges me to keep on moving. I instinctively dart forward, but the 6-legged tank-class living dead is faster. It moves its legs with uncanny agility, then turns its 30mm mounted cannon in my direction. I won't be able to dodge this. Just as I'm about to resign myself to a swift death, I notice something odd about the upper part of the tank class's head. It seems to be wet. Its giant body inclines to the side, making the muzzle of its cannon shift away from me. Not one to let a golden opportunity go to waste, I rush forward and thrust my re-eliminators at the creature's head. My ex-brain, however, displays no suggestion for me to pull the trigger, so instead I quietly watch as the beast gradually withers away. I wasn't about to needlessly waste any bullets. The tank-class living dead's body crumples onto the snow as its organic parts melt into a gooey, dusky red paste. It's been roughly 15 seconds since I heard those 3 mysterious shots ring out in the midst of battle. Turning around, I notice that the other tank-class creature that Mitsumi's been fighting has also begun to sink into a pool of its own dark, liquefied flesh.
Owen, what just happened?
It's scavenger, a special type of bacteria that feeds on dead flesh. Hearing the faint sound of a rotor, I look up into the sky. The terrorist attacks that hit the city rendered most of the military police's gunships useless. However, the gunship I see beyond the snow and haze sports a different type of coloring. My connery buzzes, and I accept the call before even checking who it is. Is it still just me here? Yeah. Oh, Wild will be here in a moment, he says. Alright, we'll wait for him to pick up Tokitaka then. It is his role, after all.
I feel like Wild always has amazing timings.
Real.
Also, he sent that 7 minutes ago, it looks like.
Oh. Oh.
Which means he could be here any second.
Exactly.
He will jump scare us.
We'll see. I will use this opportunity to take a drink. Well, I hope he's able to be here quicker. Because 8 minutes is not a moment. If Sophia pops up, who's taking Sophia?
I can do her.
Okay. I'll just take over for Tokitaka until he gets here. Did I make it in time? Oh. Pain seeps. Did I make it in time? Pain seeps into Oh, there he is. I don't even have to read it a third time. Go for it, Wild.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Gumo.
Okay, excellent. Did I make it in time?
Pain seeps into Tokitaka's voice. Understandable, given his earlier injuries. Yeah, that's why I had to read it twice. The fact he came all the way out here and even managed to fire off 3 successful shots in these conditions only proves how reliable of an ally he is. Did Iria patch you through?
Bingo.
I can almost picture Iria puffing up with pride on the other end of the line. Am I Yamanuma or is Wild taking Yamanuma?
I'm pretty sure that's you.
Alright, cool. This is sad, Commanding Officer Yamanuma. Finally taking things into your own hands? The Tokyo Rebirth Project rests upon the stability of Tokyo. Yamanuma answers in a matter-of-fact tone. The SAD will handle the remaining living dead. Your job is to defeat Milgram. Understood. We're counting on you.
You just leave it to us.
I sound a brief chuckle at the fact that it was Iria who ended up responding, not Yamanuma. Mitsumi too seems to momentarily forget that we're on a battlefield and makes a gentle smile. We hear gunshots ring out around us. Ghouls are closing in around us now that our encounter with the tank classes is over. There's no time to waste. We need to keep moving. Mitsumi and I hastily make our way into the old Tokyo detention house, entrusting the cleanup to the Empire Energy Corp's gunship. I like that the Empire Energy Corp have been pretty consistent allies throughout this whole thing. And it makes me wonder if the last route we have to do is going to put them against us somehow. The interior of the detention house is in utter shambles. After getting bombarded during the Sino-American War, the place was abandoned and left to wither and rot. The ceiling has already begun to crumble away, allowing fresh snow to be blown into the building. Hanging from the exposed steel beams are rows of enormous icicles. I briefly worried what might happen if we found large numbers of living dead locked up in the holding cells, but my fears seem to have been largely groundless. Mitsumi and I make our way down the freezing hallway, with only the echoes of our footsteps to break the silence. According to the information provided by my X-Brain, the passage leading down into the basement should be somewhere in the administrative area located in the center of the complex. It won't be long before we finally reach Milgram.
This thing is his final line of defense, I take it.
No doubt. Crashing through the passageway leading to the administrative area is yet another tank-class living dead. It's got a 40mm grenade launcher and a 30mm autocannon installed on its back. They may lack in destructive power when compared to a railgun, but tank-class living dead sport thick layers of armor plating as well. With the weapons we currently have at our disposal, we'll need to be particularly inventive if we hope to topple the creature. Having said that, we'll never reach the administrative area unless we get past this thing. Owing to the building's former function as a penal facility, its structure is practically devoid of blind spots. The holding cell areas are also locked, meaning there's nowhere for us to flee or hide. I could activate my MPP, but my X-Brain provides a different suggestion. What now? What now?
It will require a practical approach.
Mitsumi's thermokarambit heats up. Looks like we had the same idea. As the tank class passes through the hole in the wall, Mitsumi and I dart off in opposite directions in perfect sync. I dash to the left while Mitsumi runs to the right. The creature's grenade launcher and autocannon both open fire. I followed the evasive steps provided by my X-Brain in order to dodge the incoming barrage of bullets. Mitsumi, seemingly in complete control of the situation, moves at an ungodly speed to avoid the grenades flying her way. Yet the closer we get, the more difficult our continued advance becomes. We can't keep up with this thing's attacks. We'll have to find a way to outwit it. I throw a glance at Mitsumi as she runs down the opposite end of the hallway. She looks back at me. Our hearts are as one. Having read the other's mind, we both sharply change directions and make for the center. The autocannon follows me, while the grenade launcher remains aimed at Mitsumi. However, as the two of us cross paths in the middle, the creature's movements dull for a moment. We leap into the air at the same time. Kicking myself off the second floor handrails on the opposite side, I swiftly change course. Mitsumi lands behind the tank-class living dead. She's completely in the thing's blind spot now. She readies her thermokarambit, which begins to emit a hot crimson light. With our meager firepower, we won't defeat a tank-class living dead by conventional means, so we'll have to use the creature's own weapons against him. Mitsumi buries her thermokarambit into the beast. More specifically, she pushes the seething blade into the magazine of its grenade launcher. Her knife might not be the best tool for harming the creature's head, but it's more than enough to damage a piece of equipment that's been hastily recycled and reappropriated like this.
Ton!
On it! Mitsumi once again leaps into the air to distance herself from the tank class's back. I take aim and open fire with my re-eliminators. As the scalding blade of Mitsumi's karambit heats up the grenade launcher's magazine, my bullets give it the final push it needs. A succession of roaring explosions rock the detention house to its very foundations. As the floor beneath us trembles, several icicles hanging from the ceiling simultaneously come crashing down into the ground. The explosion that shook the hall dies down, leaving only a heavy silence in its wake. After a short while, visibility returns. The tank-class living dead lies motionless on the ground, back torn asunder. A closer look reveals that the explosion sent a piece of splinter straight through its brain. It's down for good. Re-elimination successful. Mitsumi and I exchange glances.
We did it.
Yeah. We're both filled with an indescribable rush. We moved in perfect coordination, despite not having planned any of it out in advance. We became one in mind and body alike. I begin to doubt if I could ever experience this level of sheer unison with anyone else, Ethica included. It's plain to see how satisfied Mitsumi also is. We end up both smiling at each other. Before long, though, my X-Brain sounds an alert, forcing me to look up at the ceiling.
It's finally here.
Through a hole in the ruined ceiling, we can make out the silhouette of a pipe runner. MF-399, the one Sue allows our agency to use.
Sorry it took so long.
The pipe runner, which addresses us in Konsu's voice using a mounted speaker, latches onto the pipes lining the wall and crawls down to ground level.
I'm in your debt.
Here, it's as good as new.
The pipe runner hands over the weapon Mitsumi had Konsu reforge. It's her trusted, longtime partner, Shoshimaru. As Mitsumi takes the sword, its vibroblade lights up in crimson.
Incredible.
With not a single dent to tarnish its ultra-high purity steel, the blade reflects Mitsumi's satisfying smile perfectly. Alright, new question. Since earlier it brought up how hard it is to get metal, how did Konsu get the ultra-high purity steel needed to reforge this?
Underworld connections, don't gotta ask shit.
Literally, the only people we ever see Konsu do business with is the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency, and they pay her in BDSM.
Yeah, just imagine the kind of kinky shit she has to get that.
Which brings up another question of well, alright, so she probably gets actually paid in addition to that, but, like, still. With what we're given, it's really, really funny to think about.
It's just bartering.
It's all come together now. She's finally ready for what lies ahead. If there's a problem to be found with anyone, it's me. My X-brain briefly malfunctioned in that earlier battle against Milgram. Ryoko, Konsu, and even Iria helped analyze it, but we couldn't figure out exactly why it happened, and we still don't know. I'd be lying if I said I'm not afraid to face him again. However, there's a future waiting for me, for us. It's time, Mitsumi.
I know.
After saying our thanks to Konsu, we hurriedly make our way down the staircase leading into the basement. And then we go over to Ethica, I guess. Oh, right. She and her dad are fighting Ikkatsu. I forgot. I forgot what they were actually up to.
Oh, I just can't do the screams right now.
Yep. I'll let the game do that for you.
Thank you. Did he really just stop my chainsaw with his bare hands? After tossing my old man aside like a ragdoll, Ikkatsu traps the blade of my rabbit punch between his enormous palms. I swung down with enough force for the blade to eat into his hand, but since he's a living dead, Ikkatsu doesn't seem to particularly mind. He sends me flying back with a fierce headbutt. The hell? That felt like getting hit by a truck. Before the searing pain or even the need for increased caution, what flashes through my mind first is a strange feeling of mixed dread and awe. Like I just realized I'm dealing with a being who's no longer human. Which is odd, seeing how my feelings should have mostly been eroded by now. Shit, this is no time to be daydreaming. The high-pitched roar of Rabbit Punch is what ends up saving my hide from certain death. My old man snatches up my chainsaw and slices Ikkatsu's right arm clean off. But that's all he does. The pain would have been unbearable for a human, but a living dead won't even bat an eye at something like this. And top it off, he's Suzumi Ikkatsu, of all people.
Oh, right. You had me doing that, right?
Yep, you are Hokoyasu.
You subbed for me last week because I was fucking dying.
A fine weapon indeed.
I know, right? The old man hands me back my rabbit punch. Did I feel a sense of pride wash over me? My old self probably would have. The old man trained me relentlessly in CQAMA since I was little. The weapons we used back then were re-eliminators. Those two spiked guns are my old man's pride and joy, a symbol of his life's work. Rabbit Punch was one of the first things I got my hands on after running away from home. It's a symbol of my freedom, of my rebellion against the old man.
I say it every time it appears on screen, but that's literally the Evil Dead S-Mart logo. Like, it's not even different. It's not even legally distinct, it's just the S-Mart logo. Oh, yeah. Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
A fine weapon, he says. Hell yeah, it is.
Try to keep up.
You too. I dash into battle, right behind the old man. We may be up against the one and only Suzumi Ikkatsu, but he's on his own, plus he's lost his arm, and he's a living dead. With only one arm left, he's now relying primarily on kicks to fight, and he's doing a reasonably good job of it too, but we still maintain the upper hand. At the end of the day, that's the one who taught me everything I know about CQAMA. Different weapons or not, our synergy on the battlefield should be top-notch. I sync up a left kick with his right punch. I answer the owl of his guns with the roar of my chainsaw. Our tight, instinctively performed combination of attacks ends up reminding me of the days we used to train together. Now that I think about it, he drilled all the basics into me right here, didn't he? Huh, I see. As I swing my rabbit punch to deliver another attack, I suddenly realize something. This blade was a symbol of my rebellion. It carried a strong message that I wanted him to return to being the father he used to be, so we could once more again fight shoulder to shoulder. When my old man changed, I couldn't bring myself to forgive him. I used to look up to him. I wanted to be like him when I got older. I think I probably loved him. I just couldn't admit it. But it's all too late now. Ikkatsu immediately moves in to punch me for my brief moment of hesitation. I eat his fist and Rabbit Punch gets hurled off into the distance. I'm pretty sure that also broke a bone of my right arm. I can feel it sticking through my skin, but hey, no big deal. I'm already dead, remember? So what's a broken bone or two? The old man seems more worried about it than I am, though.
Ethica! Gah!
He attempts to run up to me, but immediately gets a kick in his face.
Ugh!
Ikkatsu charges at him as he staggers, using the whole of his weight to trample him. His leg twists into a gruesomely unnatural angle. He fires off a couple shots from his re-eliminators, but the bullets get absorbed by Ikkatsu's bulging muscles. I've got no time to go get rabbit punch. So instead I unleash the ultramagnetic whip embedded in my left arm as a last resort. Its blade, made of ultra-high purity steel, coils around Ikkatsu's arm, eating into his flesh. He knows not to forcefully pull on the whip. Instead, he inches closer to me in order to loosen its grip. He then turns his back on us and flees. I know I should chase after him, but I end up pausing for a moment. My ex-brain's not offering any suggestions. It's dead silent. In fact, it's been that way for a while now. It finally clicks. An ex-brain is used to expand one's subconscious. It picks up on the brain's activity, then processes information from the user's subconscious in order to offer its suggestions. In other words, my brain activity has weakened to the point where it can no longer even do that. Because it's finally time to put this bad boy to use. I attempt to make my way down a nearby slope to chase after Ikkatsu.
Ethica.
Before I leave, though, my old man stops me. I see. This is gonna be the last time I get to talk to him. He's probably come to the same conclusion.
Ethica, hear me out. In the past, I once committed a grave mistake. Why did I allow you to be born?
For your own sake. My answer is quick and immediate. I know he's looking for salvation. And it's probably got something to do with the secret behind my birth. As well as the rest of that sentence he spoke once. But it's not my place to hear him out. He's the only person who had that right. Died long ago. And so, my old man will never be forgiven. He must live on, carrying his conviction and his sins.
Ethica!
Don't stop me. Remember your promise.
Ethica!
I make my way down the hill without bothering to look back. He's my necromancer. He could easily force me to obey him. Even now, he could still make me turn back. But I know he'll never do that. He'll keep his promise and allow me to die while I'm still human.
Being a necromancer capable of receiving information from his undead minions, Milgram should be well aware that we're on our way down to the basement. Our footsteps reverberate in the silence as we head down the staircase. It's getting progressively colder, too. Even the walls are covered in ice down here. Ruin dramatic tension, you say?
Hey, yo.
Well, Lux, it looks like you're gonna be Soun this time. And,
Oh boy.
and Wild, you're gonna be taking over for Mitsumi for this scene.
Oh, you got it.
If Milgram shows up, it's going to Momo.
Okay.
Upon reaching the bottommost floor, we come into a cave-like area, with its walls completely covered in a transparent veil of ice. Several imposing icicles, thicker than a man's arm, just from the floor like stalagmite. Jut from the floor. It looks almost like an ice cavern that formed during a glacial period. A silent altar of death, where nothing ever moves, and not a sound is to be heard. A dark silhouette stands alone in the middle of the room.
I see you arrived.
Momo, are you able to do the voice, or is your throat not?
Like really deep? No.
Okay.
It will only work for like a few minutes and then it will hurt.
Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah, I won't force you to do it then.
Yeah, I've been struggling with the throat for like a week already.
Milgram.
Mitsumi has dedicated herself to avenging Giju Sumihiko, her ill-fated brother turned undead. Her quest for vengeance has completely consumed her. And unless she defeats Milgram, she will never be able to move on towards a better, brighter tomorrow. Mitsumi readies Shoshimaru. The tip of its blade is imbued with the seething indignation that seeps from every pore of her body. Surrounded by the desolate gloom of the basement, her ultrasonic vibroblade burns a bright hue of crimson.
You will pay for what you did to my brother.
I try as you might.
Also, Slimy, I hate you for this because I wanted to be Milgram so bad.
I'm afraid you won't be able to kill me.
Enough talk.
Mitsumi charges at Milgram head-on, ready to burn him in the volcanic fires of her wrath. I promptly follow suit. Urged on by Mitsumi's whirlwind-like charge, I, too, hurl myself at the enemy. Milgram's movements are refined and graceful. He assumes a relaxed stance with his two side pistols and carefully aims for his foe's vitals. Yet Mitsumi is not one to recoil when faced with gunfire. She becomes the very avatar of her conviction, evading the bullets with otherworldly agility before finally closing in on Milgram. Her blade, like the inevitable judgment of the heavens, strikes at its foe to exact vengeance. Impossible! Shoshimaru's blade slices through empty air. I provide swift backup fire with my re-eliminators, but I fare no better than her. My bullets whiz through the air without finding their mark. A series of dull thuds ring out as impacts rack my body. I realize I've been just shot from behind. Not even my X-brain reacts. The first thing I feel is neither pain nor panic, but incredulity. How come Milgram is behind me? This question, however, is immediately blown into oblivion by yet another fierce strike to my back.
Someone!
Milgram changes locations in the blink of an eye. And even Mitsumi's superhuman reaction speed proves insufficient to keep up with him. A fresh volley of gunshots sends Mitsumi tumbling to the icy floor. He's obscenely... Milgram's fist is upon me before I can even finish that thought. Though overwhelmed by his inhumanly swift movements that seem to distort the very air around them, I still manage to block the tip of his incoming side pistol with my muzzle spikes. second later, I lose my balance. And receive a hefty elbow strike to my chest that sends me flying backwards across the slippery ice.
Oh.
Oh. As I slip backwards, Milgram is already behind me, waiting to launch another attack. How is this possible? He lands another punch, causing me to crash helplessly into the ground. His strength is unbelievable. We're going to need something unconventional to defeat him. Something new and unprecedented. I instinctively throw a glance in Mitsumi's direction. Mitsumi too gives me a meaningful look. I remember the courage she filled me with during that battle against the Tang-class living dead. As well as the joy I felt as we shared the dance floor together. I'll place my faith in those feelings and trust that they'll help guide me. I struggle to my feet and once again face Milgram. His counterattacks are certainly swift as lightning. He reacts to each and every one of my attempts at subduing him with a terrifying level of precision, before immediately going on the offensive himself. Acting with the monster speed I've come to expect from him, he once again drives me into a corner. However, we're only just getting started, and I'm not alone in this fight. Back at the Ikebukuro CPC, Milgram's side pistols failed to withstand Mitsumi's attack. So instead of taking Shoshimaru head-on, Milgram opts to dodge its blade instead. He is no ghost or hallucination. He's flesh and blood, like us. It's just that his movements are exceeding our expectations. But Mitsumi's always there in my time of need, and I'm there for her when she needs me. She uses her sharp mind to keenly predict and repel her foes' attacks. I do the same with my lightning-fast reactions. Bullets fly and weapons clash on this battlefield carved from ice. We make up for each other's shortcomings, allowing our partner to fight to their fullest potential. Milgram might be moving fast enough to make it seem like there are two of him. There really are two of us, as long as we work together. Milgram strikes Mitsumi in the knee with his side pistol, tackles me as I move in to assist her, then delivers a powerful roundhouse kick to her jaw. It all happens in an instant. Mitsumi and I are sent flying in opposite directions. Milgram fires his side pistols at us while we're still riding on the ground. I manage to evade a handful of his shots by rolling across the icy floor, but end up crashing into a nearby icicle as a result. Even through my bulletproof vest, the pain is sharp and relentless. Mitsumi too is being targeted while she's still on the floor. Not yet. We can still do this. It was just bad luck on our part. I fire off a fresh volley of bullets. With this many shots, it At least one of them should be able to hit.
Where are you aiming?
I pulled the trigger out of sheer reflex. What just happened? Did I miss an alert from my X-brain? I'm gradually losing my composure. My heart is gripped by a mixture of fear, trepidation, and uneasiness. When I team up with Mitsumi, we don't merely add our strength together. Our combined efforts can easily triple or quadruple our overall effectiveness in combat. We're both well aware of this. So the answer is quite simple. Even with our expert synergy, Milgram still comes out on top. Is that even possible? How are we supposed to defeat someone like that? My mind wanders back to that fateful moment.
Ah!
Mitsumi! Calm down. Having lost all restraint, Mitsumi blindly launches herself at Milgram. Thankfully, I managed to block her advance just in time. I was driven solely by my instinct to protect her. What I see reflected in her eyes is fear. I'm not the only one scared of Milgram. The moment I come to that realization, my heart regains its prior composure. And it cements in my mind that the resolve that I need to pick the optimal course of action to save her. I'm taking the lead.
Have you gone mad? We're supposed to do this together.
No. I don't allow myself to be dissuaded. I'll handle this on my own. I sense a tinge of indecision in her. Under usual circumstances, Mitsumi would have likely insisted to join me, asserting her fundamental right to partake in the battle. However, our relationship is no longer what it used to be. We're joined by a far stronger bond now.
Very well.
Mitsumi makes a slow, measured nod, then allows me to take the front. As Milgram watches us in silence, I ready myself to take him on using my close quarters armed martial arts. The twin re-eliminators with their trusty muzzle spikes, as well as the X-Brain helmet. These are the supporting pillars that make CQAMA possible. My X-Brain has yet to fully analyze and dissect the extent of Milgram's combat potential. I close the distance between us with well-practiced steps. Moving one's body in a way that statistically minimizes the chance for the enemy to land a counterattack is an important cornerstone of successful CQAMA. Milgram does, of course, adapt to that. He ducks down and attempts to stab his side pistol into my body with nigh impossible timing. No matter how diligently one trains their body, there will always be a slight gap between registering their X-Brain's alert and acting upon its instructions. Milgram delivers a light blow to my abdomen. As I endure the searing pain, my lips curl into a content smile beneath my helmet. I may not have been able to evade Milgram's blow, but the alerts predicting his attacks have begun to pop up slightly faster than before. To analyze the opponent and immediately draw up a counter strategy, the core principle behind quarters armed martial arts and what makes the X-Brain what it is. If I can keep going like this, I have a chance to...
You believe this is all I'm capable of?
Words leave his lips at the exact same moment the punch arrives. There's no time for my X-Brain to process anything. I slide across the icy floor as his blow crashes into me. He's not done yet. Another punch comes flying at me like a bullet. It's even faster than the one that preceded it. An alert flashes before my eyes, but I'm too slow. I'm taken to my feet. Milgram levels his side pistols at me.
Distance now.
Huh?
Mitsumi charges in from behind, saving my skin. Milgram halts his attacks a split second before it lands. I immediately go after him. My feet are light, my steps are quick. There's no need to think about delivering a counterattack. All I have to do is collect data, so I can evolve my technique mid-fight, to eventually find that one attack that will get through his impenetrable guard. That's what CQA AMA is for. Our fierce struggle causes several nearby icicles to shatter. Milgram flies across the battlefield in his anti-armor suit, almost as if to defy the very laws of physics. He charges at me in rapid succession, throwing one potentially fatal blow after another. Every time I'm in danger, Mitsumi comes to my aid with impeccable timing. I lost count of the number of times her keen instincts have pulled me back from the jaws of certain death. God. The wounds covering my body multiply at a worrying rate. Every single muscle in me cries out in pain. But in spite of all that, the speed of my reactions continues to accelerate. Milgram, too, grows faster, but the difference between us has begun to shrink. The more data I accumulate, the faster my reactions become. No matter how many blows I receive, I stand my ground. My faith in CQAMA is what keeps me going. Just a little longer. I just need to hold out a little longer.
Son!
Milgram's fist crashes into the arms I've raised in defense, pushing me back. I end up eating his punch head-on. My body gets hurled through the air, accompanied by a sickening sound. Did my arms just crack? As I attempt to confirm it via my X-Brain, what flashes through my eyes is the icon indicating the presence of a living dead. Like a lone tear rolling down a person's cheek, a rivulet of dark liquid trickles forth from beneath Milgram's anti-armor suit. It's entirely too dark to be the blood of a living person. And that can only mean one thing. You're already dead. When the Empire Energy Corps railguns hit, Milgram sank to the bottom of Tokyo Bay, along with his amphibious assault ship. Considering the sheer weight of his reinforced endoskeleton, there's no way he could have swam back up to the surface or survived the freezing depths of the ocean floor. So he was reanimated as a living dead. I'm aware of how much of a physical burden that anti-armor suit places on the wearer. Milgram's body under that thing must be in an awful shape, considering how intensely we've been fighting. But to a living dead, that means precious little. As long as the brain is kept safe, the body can be pushed to its absolute limits. Hence his literally inhuman speed.
I see. This explains a lot. Your plan did seem uncharacteristically reckless, but it's because you were running out of time.
Or how pressured Milgram might have been by the impending completion of the Tokyo Rebirth project. His plan to attack the city was rash and needlessly violent, almost like it came from an entirely different person.
There's a deep connection between necromancy and the emotions of its user. You hoped to settle this before your emotions deteriorated, didn't you?
Splendidly deduced, Gijo Mitsumi. You're certainly well versed in the process of emotional deterioration.
Light tremble runs down the blade of Shoshimaru.
I do believe I've told you before we even began that you won't be able to kill me. Re-elimination is the only fate you can grant me. Or your dear brother, for that matter.
You bastard!
It's not worth it, Soen.
My passions erupt, but Mitsumi's voice soothes them.
The magician has revealed the secret of his trick, and you have the means to break his spell.
Slide a hand into my inner pocket and feel for the lone bullet inside.
A scavenger, I take it.
Milgram knows all too well what I'm planning. The scavenger bacteria is capable of devouring dead flesh. But since it takes time to cultivate it, I could only requisition a single bullet. I can load it into the chamber of my gun whenever I please. If the liquid inside so much as splashes against his skin, the bacteria will immediately begin to consume his flesh. There's only one problem.
You believe you can hit me?
In his anti-armor suit, Milgram boasts speed that far exceeds the realm of ordinary humans. During the entirety of our fight, I couldn't land a single shot on him. I'm also barely hanging in there. My body is covered in wounds from head to toe. Will I really be able to do this, being as worn down as I am? We only have one chance. One literal shot at this.
Oh boy, final boss of the Ultraman game. I can't believe I got a laugh out of that. That's such a It's such an obscure thing to say that I can't believe you got that.
A chill runs down my spine. For a brief moment, I even considered buying more time. The bullets shot by Tokitaka were scavengers made by the Empire Energy Core. The SAD likely has some more reserves to spare. If it comes down to it, I could potentially draw Milgram outside and...
Son, you've done all you can.
Mitsumi's eyes burn with determination.
It is now my turn to step into the fray. I'll make sure to pierce his foul heart.
Mitsumi, that the heart doesn't do anything to living dead.
It's a fucking metaphor, Son.
Yeah, Slimy, I figured, but like... But what if she did?
I just like to laugh. She's placed her full trust in me. I've placed my full trust in her. So I have no problem handing our one scavenger bullet to Mitsumi. She flicks the bullet into the air and slices it clean in half with Shoshimaru. The liquid contained within the ampule is now coating her blade. Back on the ship, when I pushed that bullet into Ikkatsu's body, it consumed his whole arm. Mitsumi's trying to pull off the exact same thing against Milgram using Shoshimaru. She assumes the Hasso stance. Her ultrasonic vibro katana burns silently with the scathing flames of her vengeance. Its blade carries the condensed essence of all that she is. Her determination, her fate, her very future. Milgram's gaze does not stray. Switching his side pistols to a reverse grip, he meets the eyes of his foe head-on. Dusky red blood continues to seep through the cracks of his anti-armor suit. Freezing air around us seems to cool even further. Mitsumi widens her stance ever so slightly. Milgram answers in kind. Two unparalleled experts of combat are now poised to clash. Will Mitsumi's keen instincts topple the armor-clad Milgram? It's impossible to tell. And so, I pray that Mitsumi, who's devoted everything to fulfilling her quest for vengeance against Milgram, who's lived a life shackled by the yoke of her undead brother, Sumihiko, will be able to guide her steel to sever the past once and for all, for the sake of her future.
Yeah?
Her resounding cry pierces the very air itself. Milgram gracefully dodges out of the way, granting him the upper hand. Yet Mitsumi's eyes are clear as a spring lake. Her mind's already several steps ahead. She's predicted all this, including Milgram's swift, evasive maneuvers. She lowers her waist and pours all her strength into the next swing. blade mistakes, albeit just error. A moment later, Milgram spins around and buries both his side pistols in Mitsumi's back. Their sharp blades sink deep into her flank, and then comes the first shot. And the second. And a third. Time itself seems to freeze to a halt. For the very first time since I've known her, Mitsumi's snow-white bodysuit is smeared deep crimson with blood. Immediately dart forward and unload bullet after bullet from my re-eliminators. Not even my X-Brain attempts to stop me. Milgram breaks my left arm. And then my right. My twin re-eliminators fall onto the ground. A pathetic display. Truly and utterly pathetic. I yearn for the sweet release of death. A wish that will no doubt soon be granted. It's over.
I thought that was Milgram.
Oh, okay, it is.
It's over.
Not yet.
No.
Oh, okay, it's not me.
It's okay, it might as well have been. Not yet.
Mitsumi's voice pulls me back from the brink. Battered and coughing up blood with every word uttered, she clings onto Shoshimaru while crawling on the ground. She hasn't given up yet.
How unsightly. Only a fool struggles in vain.
Just a little more. And the effects will show themselves.
The effects.
Milgram coughs up a dark, inky substance.
What is this? No, that can't be.
What spills onto the ground is a blotch of dead, gooey flesh, dissolved by the scavenger.
It seems you underestimated my Shoshimaru.
My X-Brain provides an explanation. Shoshimaru is an ultrasonic vibro katana. Milgram might have evaded Mitsumi's swing by a hair's breadth, but the blade continued to vibrate. And the scavenger it was coated in ended up spraying onto his skin. Unable to support his own weight, Milgram falls to his knees. A mixture of dusky red flesh and blood continues to seep forth from between the joints of his anti-armor suit.
I will not go down like this. It is just getting.
His words are cut short by Mitsumi's blade as it pierces his body from behind.
I did it. Finally did it, son.
Mitsumi! I move to catch her body as it's about to crumble onto the ground.
Aren't his arms broken?
Yeah, they are. Her eyes, however, are already closed. My hands are smeared with the red of her blood. Mitsumi's very life is slowly but surely ebbing away in my arms. The beating of her heart grows fainter and fainter. She's finally managed to free herself from the shackles of the past and earned the right to keep moving towards the future. I can't allow myself to lose her now. I hold her tight with my two broken arms, trying desperately to keep her life from slipping away.
Alright, scene's over. That is the longest ruined dramatic tension we've ever had.
Hell yeah, it is.
And I didn't get to read any of it.
Been waiting for you, Ethica.
Ikkatsu's at the Shinobasu pond. He had plenty of time to escape. He could have also easily killed my old man if ordered. Which leads me to believe Milgram might already be dead, and that Ikkatsu stayed behind purely out of his own free will. Ikkatsu, I want to know one last thing. Did you take me in because my old man asked you to?
Who can say? I've forgotten the past.
He flashes a grin. A final show of his fading humanity. I unleash the whip from my left arm and lock it into a spear-like shape. It's not my old partner, Rabbit Punch. It's the ultramagnetic whip I stole from that bald bastard. Undeniable proof that I'm a living dead. Let's settle this once and for all.
I'd love nothing more.
We stand face to face. And start immediately pummeling each other. His fists make a dent in my skull. My blade pierces his cheekbones. Neither of us cries out in pain. There's no more left to feel. We simply deliver one attack after another. We focus our minds on one thing and one thing only, bringing the other down. We both hate overly complex shit. Nor are we the type to go running with our tails between our legs. I mean, we've got these sturdy undead bodies, you know. So we might as well make full use of them and really go all out. Well, there's nothing left of us. I have no intention of living through this anyway. We're pretty much just assisting each other's suicide at this point. I don't even mind if it ends that way, honestly, and I'm sure Ikkatsu feels the same. As his former pupil, I can tell that much. We land blow after blow after blow. We trade punches and stagger back and forth as our heads get crushed in. But we don't stop, not for 1 second. Ikkatsu.
Do it.
This ends now. Second.
You okay, Momo?
It's alright. I drill my clenched fist into Ikkatsu. He sends me flying with a counter, but I no longer care. I saw the ampoule shatter into pieces after I jammed it into his face. The ampoule filled with scavenger that I got from Iria. Ikkatsu collapses to the ground. A crow flies off and vanishes into the dark of the night sky. Having lost all strength to move, I simply lie on the ground, facing the ceiling. Ikkatsu is likely in the same position, though I have no way of confirming it. We took each other down fair and square. Couldn't have asked for a better conclusion. My body's gradually being consumed. The bacteria has begun to work its way through my flesh, starting with my right arm. In other words, I've got a total of 15 seconds left to live. And then it's lights out. I'm ready for it though. At least I thought I was. But then, why is my vision getting blurry? I should have no lingering regrets. Oh, I think I know. Because of the connery on my left hand is buzzing. It's a call from Kiri. I want to talk to her. But I know I can't. I should have called her earlier. And that, right there, is my one small regret. But even that will soon melt away. Oh, I just remembered. This is where I met Kiri for the last time. We lay down in the grass together and gazed up at the sky while holding hands. She was so warm. I wanted that moment to last forever. I really did. I wanted it to go on and on and on.
Pavlov looks up at the sky. White smoke billows up and merges with the snow, only to eventually melt into the clouds that drift above Tokyo. Beyond their veil, in the far distance, are the glittering stars that he now gazes at.
Ah,
A sigh escapes his lips. It was he who stole that Cetus and piloted it to the bottom of the ocean to recover Milgram's corpse. It was he who brought him back to life with necromancy. As such, he could acutely sense the moment when Milgram was finally re-eliminated.
may you rest in peace. I will make sure to carry on your legacy.
Pavlov remains calm and composed. He anticipated all of this. The members of the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency are veterans of their field. He knew that once the living dead flooded the streets and Milgram's involvement became clear, they would discover the truth by themselves. The information broker Konsu is an expert of data analysis. He knew that she would request Hogyo Iria's assistance to gain access to the Empire Energy Corp's network, so that she could locate Milgram via satellite. Milgram was merely the bait to allow Pavlov to infiltrate the Tokyo megafloat. With their master slain, the hordes of living dead Milgram spent years accumulating will soon disperse. The gas poisoner's effects may affect the outcome, but in the end it's only a matter of time until the military police bring the city under control. Before that happens, he must hack into the computers of the Empire Energy Corp, destroy the Tokyo Rebirth Project from the inside, and put into motion the plan that not even Milgram could see through to completion: the Necropolis Project. That is the mission Pavlov must fulfill as the sole survivor of their group. Gasps in Russian.
Gasp.
Pavlov surveys the area. The streets of Tokyo are teeming with the living dead. There's not a living soul to be seen in the hyper-ghetto. Only the dead. A group of freshly reanimated corpses follow Pavlov from behind, turned undead by the Lemur's gas that he himself developed. There's a total of 54 of them. A more than sufficient number. Pavlov takes aim with his laser rifle. His target is the snowbound Nirvana. He's done his homework. He knows that the store is protected by heavy security, in which case it's best to just bring the whole building down. That's the conclusion Pavlov has arrived at. He cares not if Konsu dies inside. If anything, that would be the preferable outcome. He must, of course, endeavor to limit the damage in order to prevent her brain from getting crushed. But that aside, it's checkmate. Milgram's grave crusade will finally... Zombie sounds? Oh. Who did we have voicing Sumihiko?
I think I'm not sure, but I think it was Wild.
Sure,
not
what the
sure.
hell?
I'm not sure, y'all.
I'll take him.
Alright. Out of the way.
Pavlov has ordered his undead minions to stay at a distance behind him while he busies himself with the tuning of his laser rifle. Yet one of those corpses has left the group and now clings to his back. Did Pavlov miscalculate something while administering the Lemur's gas?
Away with you.
The moment Pavlov turns around to repel the living dead molesting him, a blade sinks deep into his abdomen.
You're that.
Revenge. With the blade still buried in his stomach, Pavlov grabs the living dead by his head. It's Gijo Sumihiko, a man he killed years ago at the Tokyo Tower. Pavlov's enormous hand holds Sumihiko in a vice-like grip and begins to apply more and more pressure to his skull. Eventually... Sumihiko's skull splits open at the exact same time the blade disembowels Pavlov. Pavlov seems to almost perceive the vaguest hint of a smile on the young Adtai instructor's face, as if the man he once killed still retained some of his former emotions. As his life flashes before his eyes, Pavlov feels only regret for not being able to carry on Milgram's legacy. Lost in the snow and ice of Tokyo, his consciousness soon fades into perpetual darkness, never to return. So that's where Sumihiko went. He just had a feeling that Pavlov was around, and one of his brain functions was kill that guy. That's pretty good.
So, in celebration of Son leaving to start his new life.
Stop right there!
Iria loudly interrupts the sobbing Ryoko. Oh, she's
Get it
like...
together.
Sorry, Ryoko's like actually sobbing. I need to hear it.
そうくんの新たなる旅立ちを祝いまして
Get it together, Ryoko. There is nothing celebratory about that.
But, I mean... Son!
Ryoko? Ryoko's bawling her eyes out like a child. Wait, is that alcohol I smell? Ryoko, did you have a drink before we even toasted?
Yeah, to wash the sadness away. Every time I remember you're leaving the agency,
She buries herself in my chest and keeps on sobbing. I'd love to let her cry her heart out until she calms down, but at the same time... Just recite the numbers of pi. Do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. 3.1415926535897932384626489649445923078164062896.
Tokitaka's staring at us with a murderous gaze while reciting the digits of pi, so I should probably attempt to rectify the situation. How, I don't know.
Jesus, guys, how much longer are you gonna make your guests wait?
Captain Nagisa lifts her glass in a toast, saving me from Tokitaka's potential wrath.
Let's do this already. Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers.
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 And with that, the party begins. We each start drinking while nibbling on the food and snacks Ryoko prepared for us. Some of the guests present are people I rarely have the opportunity to meet like this, but there's one thing they all have in common. They're comrades who fought side by side to save the city. And so, it takes little to no time for our cramped living room to be filled with laughter and livened conversation.
Hey, son! What are you doing spacing out there in the corner? This party's about you!
I'm not exactly the most sociable person around, to say the least. At occasions like this, I generally prefer to stay quiet and avoid drawing too much attention to myself. But it's true that this entire party is being held for my sake. Iri is right. I should say something. Thank you for taking the time to come over. I hope the people at the Mega Float didn't mind too much.
Well, they did moan and grumble as you'd expect, but you're my very own Prince Charming. Did you really think I wasn't gonna see you off on your last day in the city?
I'm your Prince Charming?
Totally. You didn't exactly kiss me though.
Kiss you? What is she talking about?
Gotcha. You take everything so seriously. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine without me now. Although, I was a little worried about you back when we first met.
You were worried about me? Iria was the one who needed someone worrying about her. I haven't forgotten the time she ignored my warnings and ran off into the city on her own.
Oh, you have something to say, mister?
No, not at all.
Good answer. It means you've learned how to read the mood, at least a little bit.
As much as I'd like to say more, it's probably best not to continue this line of conversation. So I promptly changed the topic. Are you busy these days?
I am ever.
You try
Am
that-
I ever? Oopsie. Am I ever? In order to realize the Tokyo Rebirth project, the city's safety must be guaranteed. Gotta pull out all the stops.
The recent terrorist attack shook the city to its core. We took down Milgram, and Ethica defeated Ikkatsu, which helped bring things under control in a speedy fashion, but the damage had already been done. It's going to take a little while until everything's back to normal in Tokyo.
Damn right we do.
A flushed and clearly intoxicated Captain Nagisa interrupts our conversation.
Just you watch Soen. We're gonna make sure the city stays safe. You know what that means, do ya? It means Tokyo's gonna be in good hands even without you around. So go leave already. We've got this covered.
This is probably Captain Nagisa's own way of trying to congratulate me. Copious amounts of alcohol aside, I can tell her words come from the heart. Oh, this reminds me. Captain Nagisa, are you familiar with Konsu by any chance?
Huh? Oh, the lads in the hyper ghetto? Sure.
She's fundamentally a hardcore masochist, but is more than capable of switching roles to be the sadist. If you ever find yourself lonely, don't hesitate to look her up.
What are you blabbering on about?
Well, Ethica once told me you were a hopeless bottom, so...
Huh? We've got a perv in the house! I'm not a pervert! But you're literally getting aroused from getting called one. No, I'm not.
She's outright screaming now. Somehow, this feels appropriate for our last conversation. After everything she's put us through, she can handle a little teasing. Let's see who else is here. My gaze eventually settles on Major General Kibanohara. I'm genuinely surprised he agreed to come. His relationship with Ethica was rocky, to say the least, but he probably wanted to see for himself the agency his daughter had spent so much time at. Around the same time we faced off against Milgram at the old Tokyo detention house, Ethica and Major General Kibanohara apparently fought Ikkatsu at the Ueno Botanical Garden. After turning his own daughter into a living dead, he was forced to watch her die again. I can't even imagine how he must feel right now. What I do know is that ever since then, he's worked tirelessly to help rebuild the city. He didn't so much as take a day off work.
Are you really planning to quit?
I respond to his question with a quick nod.
Necromancers could be lurking in any city, and the private special living dead stalker system extends beyond just Tokyo.
I'm going to start a new life. It's what I promised her. There's no hesitation in my answer. The stern and ever unflinching face of Major General Kibanohara mellows into a faint smile. For a brief moment, I see Ethica in him.
I'd offer one of the military police's gunships to take you, but I imagine you'd turn it down.
Yes. You even went so far as to arrange a new job for me over there. I can't trouble you any further.
I see. Ijo Mitsumi is gone now. You should live your life as you see fit, free from shackles.
I will.
So,
Ryoko approaches us to talk to me. Her tone is unexpectedly serious. I feared she might come clinging on to me in another drunken stupor, but it looks like that's not the case.
please know that you're always welcome here. The Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency is still your home, and nothing can change that.
Thank you. I express my genuine gratitude. I still have somewhere to come back to, a place to call home. Just knowing that fills my heart with warmth. I'll see you around, Tokitaka. Tokitaka? You okay? He's got his back to me, but I can see his shoulders trembling. I slowly walk over to him. Look after Ryoko while I'm gone.
Oh, I will. You don't need to tell me.
When he turns around, Tokitaka's all smiles. His usual confident grin.
With both you and Ethic gone, I'm gonna be number one around. I'll take good care of this place until you come back. Don't you worry about that.
Sure. But no more screw-ups, you hear me?
The same goes for you, buddy. You don't want to lose it.
Tokitaka lowers his voice. I give him a solemn nod, followed by a firm handshake. No further words are necessary, not between us. I suppose the saying that time flies when you're having fun does have some truth to it. It's almost time for me to go. Once out of Tokyo, there's only a barren wasteland waiting for me. Nature itself will stand in my way. With the infrastructure of the old world in ruins, even traveling between cities has become quite difficult. In fact, I may end up never seeing Tokyo again. That's how heavy of a decision it is to leave town in 2199. At last, she finally addresses me.
Son?
Major Oso.
You don't have to be that formal. I came here as Ethica's friend.
Okay. Miss Aso. She's probably not aware of it herself, but every time she utters Ethica's name, a hint of sadness washes over her face.
It's strange. There's so many things I've wanted to ask you, but I'm having trouble putting my feelings into words.
That's just how it is, I think. Even Mitsumi and I understand each other the best when we were on the battlefield.
That's so like you too.
Major also makes an apologetic smile. I end up doing the same.
Son.
Toying with the glass in her hand, Major also finally addresses me with a question.
Do you think Ethica was happy?
Miss Aso, I say, looking her straight in the eye. Was Ethica the kind of person who'd leave this world with regrets? Even supposing she did, I'm sure she'd come back from beyond the grave to correct that.
Could certainly see her doing that.
Major also makes a warm smile. Time can heal all wounds, even those of the heart. And indeed, even a lie may one day become the truth. The past is a long shadow stretching behind us, and we can never escape it. Only carry it with us toward a brighter future. I climb into the Strider. My things are already packed inside. Goodbye, everyone. Ryoko says her farewells as Tokitaka looks up at the sky. Captain Nagisa performs a ceremonious salute, while Major Aso waves at me with a gentle smile. Major General Kibonohara offers a silent nod. Iria waves at me with all the energy and enthusiasm she can muster. Sounding the horn of the Strider to mark my departure, I finally drive away from the agency. Only the low hum of the engine keeps me company. I speed through tumultuous streets rife with danger. The familiar scenery of Kabukicho gradually fades into the distance. I say my goodbyes to the past and embark on a journey toward the future. Goodbye, everyone. Farewell, Ethica. And... yeah?
After leaving the party, Kiri heads over to the Shinobazu pond. She looks around the area while holding my X-brain. Her expression is understandably one of grief and mourning. She's full of regrets. Her call didn't go through when it mattered the most. She couldn't properly say goodbye. I feel the same, honestly. So, why don't I come back from beyond the grave to correct that little mistake? Huh? Kiri makes a stunned gasp. The X-brain she's been holding lights up, and her connery begins to buzz, almost in sync. She's got mail, and the sender is Kibanohara Ethica, yours truly. Kiri's eyes widen in shock. She looks around, then takes a deep breath. Her lungs fill to the brim with air, and that alone is enough to bring her to the verge of tears. She then gingerly opens the mail. They who share the lotus throne share in joy and sorrow alike. A familiar saying, it describes a bond powerful enough to make you want to share the lotus throne with that person, a bond that not even death can sever. It used to be a favorite of Kiri's mom. I think it perfectly encapsulates our relationship as well. I've no body anymore, and as such, no ashes either. The puddle of liquefied flesh that used to be Ethica is gone, having seeped into the earth in almost the blink of an eye. But that doesn't mean I've completely vanished. I've just returned to nature, is all. I'll soak into the earth and become one with the Shinobazu pond. The cycle of life, I'll be absorbed into the roots of one of the lotus flowers and help it bloom. I'll become the scent you so adore. So this isn't goodbye. We can meet anytime we want. I'll always be with you, Kiri. Whenever you feel happy or lonely, or if you simply want to meet me, I'll come back from beyond the grave, just for you. So there's no reason to be sad. Really? Look at me, getting all sentimental. But I guess that's to be expected, considering what I am now. Flashing a bitter smile, I returned to the digital world I came from. I became a living dead. I lost my emotions and died once more. However, my mind had been expanded. The X-brain in Kiri's hands connected to the remaining fragments of my emotions to the mesh network. And that's where I met her. She, whose song has managed to move the hearts of so many. As I'm still not used to how this world works, the one who sent that mail to Kiri was in my stead was also her. Having said that, I can't make out much more than a blurry outline of her myself. The one thing I do know, however, is that in the physical world, she's what they call subcon. Eventually, my consciousness leaves the X-brain and returns to the digital information network. The mesh network, that which links people's lives. I can hear a song. It's one I haven't heard in a while, actually. But I know it'll be the perfect tune to celebrate the first step of their journey. And so, as I drift through that endless network of data, I allow the gentle tone of her song to envelop me.
I make a stop at the hyper ghetto. A lone figure waits for me in front of the snowbound Nirvana. It's not Konsu. Not wanting to venture outside her store, she informed me via Konri that she wouldn't be able to see me off in person. The quick, curt, "See you later," she ultimately sent me is precisely the kind of parting message I would expect from her. The bottom line is that the person waiting for me here is definitely not her.
Sorry for the delay.
It's someone who was supposed to be dead, Gijo Mitsumi. She's been receiving medical treatment here in the basement. My strider's packed full of luggage, but I've made space for her in the passenger seat. Could they have figured out what I'd planned because of that? Tokitaka's last mark was suspicious in retrospect.
What's wrong, Soul?
Nothing. That day, the gravely wounded Mitsumi was carried off to the military police's hospital in an Empire Energy Corp gunship. Receiving immediate surgery, she had the 3 bullets embedded in her body removed, and was also supplied with spare organs to help her recover. Still, I can't help but recall what happened to Ethica.
Oh, is this about what I think it's about?
Mitsumi gives me a fiery glare.
Tell me, does my body look like a corpse to you?
That's not what I meant.
If you'd like to confirm it for yourself, go right ahead. I'll allow it.
No need. With her cheeks beet red, Mitsumi draws closer to me. As her chest presses against mine, I can feel my heart rate skyrocket. People are generally unable to feel sexual attraction toward the living dead, so I'm confident that Mitsumi is still very much alive. Kibanohara Hokoyasu and Konsu are the only two that know of her survival. Even these days, necromancers still possess their own information network. Milgram's demise didn't dissuade the suicide wannabes from their cause. If anything, his martyr-like death served only to further fan the flames of their blind devotion to the Grave Crusade. As such, it would make perfect sense for them to target Gijo Mitsumi, the person who killed their prophet, which is why she chose to keep her survival a secret. There might have been more to it, though. Maybe she wanted to put her old life behind her once and for all. Are you really sure you'd rather not start over here in Tokyo?
Yes, there are too many memories of my brother here.
Mitsumi gazes far into the distance as she speaks.
I'm sorry for forcing you into this. I realize it's selfish of me.
I want to be the kind of man who can indulge your selfishness.
Enough with the jests.
I'm serious, though. If there's no place for her to call home, I'll become the cornerstone she needs. It's as simple as that. Besides, there's nothing for us to lament. After all, we're still alive.
Indeed we are.
People are connected in more ways than one. Through space, time, language, and even networks. There are plenty of ways to meet someone, as long as you're still alive. So we'll do our best to live our lives to their fullest. I don't want any reunions waiting further down the line to be clouded by frowns. I sounded almost like Ethica for a second there.
Did something happen, Soon?
What do you mean?
You were smiling.
I see. I finally noticed it myself. Seeing me smile, Mitsumi's lips have curled upward as well. We'll say goodbye to this city with a smile.
Good idea.
We drive our strider westward. We're heading for Osaka, one of the few remaining Japanese cities still clinging to life in this ice age we now live in. In its harbor, which is said to rival Tokyo's in size, there's apparently a colossal megafloat being constructed as we speak, or so the rumors go. I'm sure it's going to be just as lively a city as Tokyo is. What do you think we'll find there? Wait.
どんなところか
Okay. Huh? I noticed that Mitsumi's no longer in her seat. She's opened the hatch and climbed outside. I activate the autopilot and follow her. Mitsumi?
Hmm?
Is that...
Yes, it is.
Mitsumi's clutching a handful of hair, letting it gently flutter in the wind. It belonged to Gijo Sumihiko, her undead brother, who mysteriously vanished shortly before we departed for our final battle with Milgram. Mitsumi found him in the hyper ghetto, lying motionless atop the corpse of a necromancer in front of the snowbound Nirvana. And so she cut off some hair from his heavily decomposed body to keep as a memento of sorts. However...
Farewell.
Whispering that single word, Mitsumi opens her hand. The wintry breeze snatches up Sumihiko's hair, scattering it across the snow-laden landscape. His locks soon disappear from view. sent off by a lone, frozen tear rolling down Mitsumi's cheeks. Cradled by the icy winds, Mitsumi gently clasps my hand in hers. I return her grip with a reassuring squeeze. Our vehicle rolls onward, leaving Tokyo behind. We leave the hyperghetto and its scarce few pipes, heading for the permafrost and its ever-enduring snowfall.
Excuse me. I need to leave. I'm so sorry. Can only do 2 hours.
We're very clearly at the end of this route, so I was going to be stopping it once this ends anyway.
Yeah, but I can't stay, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'll catch up.
Okay. Bye, Momo.
Please take care. Bye-bye.
Memories come flooding back into my mind. My heart aches, and my smile wanes a little. But it's not enough to stop us. We'll keep pressing onward. Hesitation is the cost of hope. Uneasiness is the price we pay for the future. Yet even still, we have a goal we must aim for. A reason that makes us want to brave this journey together. And so... What's this? What suddenly bursts forth from the speakers is her song. A song of hope. A song of the future. It's on auto, so I can't do anything here. So I don't even know who was supposed to be talking when. We'll start our lives anew. And live not for the past, but the future. Not for the dead, but the living. A brand new chapter awaits us. And so Mitsumi's route draws to a close.
I can't believe someone gets to unsheath his sword repeatedly forever now.
That's a crazy thing to say. I mean, it's not wrong, but like... I wonder how the title screen's going to change now. Well, we only got one more route left to do.
Who's the last route?
Iria's route is the last one.
Okay.
And then some sort of true ending will pop up after that. which I don't think is a full route, but it'll be there.
Okay. Hell yeah, bonus.
This one's like the best ending we've gotten so far because the only person who's dead at the end of it is Ethica. So I'm genuinely curious how the area route's gonna go.
It'll probably go just fine. Minimal casualties.
I mean, hopefully. Alright, the picture here has gotten a lot more clear. Alright, but we'll be starting Iria's route next week.
Can't believe we're close to ending this.
Yeah, we're 33 parts in, which is longer than any visual novel we've done before. It's almost longer than all of the Utawara Rumono stuff we've done combined. And we still have another Utawara Rumono game to go. Which is the next thing on the list, just to be completely clear. And we have almost none of the original cast for that, which is mildly concerning because I'm going to have so much explaining to do that I'm not prepared for. Unless I can manage to gather enough people for an anime watch party for the actual anime for Utawara Rumono, which is not perfect, but it'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it before. Again, with the old cast. But, yeah, no. Oof. Genuinely curious what's going to happen during Iria's route to differentiate it from the other three. Alright, well, I'm going to be sending you guys towards another stream that hopefully is not going to end the instant I hit send. I'm going to send you guys over to Growth Kase, who's speedrunning Turok 2 right now. So, until next time, may your stories grow ever more interesting, and farewell.
Bye!
Bye bye.